Hello, welcome back to the show. We are ready to get into the second map, which is going to be Cobblestone. Unfortunately, we won't have the Yanko zone from the previous map, but perhaps we'll have it after this one. Yanko, what are your thoughts as to how Cobblestone might go between these two teams?
Well, I think that this is a. I mean, it's obviously it's Conquest's pick, and I think they're the favorites to win it. I feel that if enemy were to have a chance in this final, they had to win Inferno. Then they could have surprised on Train, but now I think it's I think it's Conquest's map, and it's going to be a 2-0 for Conquest. Have you seen the size of that sword, James, on the logo?
It is a big sword. That's all I have to say about the sword. So, enemy won the knife round, and they're going to be going in on the T side, the favoured side here on Cobblers. Dan.
Dan, that's my name. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see how this pans out, because enemy could potentially, if they win this pistol round and cripple the CT economy, who knows what's going to happen in this one, especially with that performance in the last map. And they are making their way for a B play, but there's 4 players ready to receive this one from Conquest, so this could be quite a bloody affair for enemy. Not necessarily going to be the blood of their enemies, but they themselves will be filling the drop zone with blood. Unfortunate here for enemy GG. It was a good opening setup from Conquest, and it's just lucky left now because of that.
Lucky, not so lucky. As he is alone. With 4 CTs looking for his position. However, as time passes, Conquest may wonder where this bomb is headed. Now Lucky has announced his position, getting that long-range kill onto ShahZaM, which is not easy considering he has an inferior weapon. Interestingly, Rush has picked up a Glock for whatever he had, although he has got 2 kills in the bag, so potentially running out of bullets on a USPS.
It's actually probably better in the close range as well than the USP. So
also, if you want to rush at the bomb, pretty nice to have 20 bullets.
Yep. Very true, very true. Good
So
situational choice.
Oh, I'm not really sure. Yeah, okay, daps just rotating back just in case Lucky had bailed, but he announced his presence once again, and now he's committed to the bomb site.
Yeah, looking to get as many kills as he possibly could. There's not going to be many, just the one for Lucky, who was left in an unlucky situation. So Conquest going to be off to a good start on the CT side, and the pistol is so crucial on Cobblers.
Oh, you love that, don't you, James?
There is a Bison in play on NAF-FLY.
And I think we saw NAF use it the last time around as well versus a force spy.
If I'm not mistaken, it was a complete failure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was almost, well, it's very comical actually. But the push is going towards Stanislaw, and he is rocking the ump, which we did talk about previously as a very good option when it comes to how you should deal with your buy if you're expecting armored opponents.
Are you expecting that?
Yeah, I was about to say.
What? I'm expecting what?
Never mind.
Move on.
So, enemy looking to put the numbers into the drop zone. MAiNLiNE has all of 1 HP. That nade's going to come in, do even more damage. We may see some assists here, and with that nade, that Bison is going to be glorious.
There we go. That's maybe the most Bison frags we've seen all tournament.
Probably in about half a year.
Probably ever.
Yeah, it must be. All in one round.
Well, pretty good start for Conquest, not losing too many members in their first anti-eco. Now they're going to go up against a completely clean eco on enemy's side. And with that investment that enemy did in the previous round and not getting bombed down, they're probably not going to, well, they're not going to get enough money to actually get koosta on that op, which has been pretty effective for them
Relyks
so
is
far.
no doubt scratching his nose, hence running sideways towards the bomb site. Guilty is charged. So, MAiNLiNE distributing the flashbang for the entry into B. Can they get the bomb down? It's going to be another garden hose potentially here for Rush. He's got himself 2 frags, but running out of bullets. A nice snap of the USP. He will go down to koosta, who is shortly dispatched of by his opposite, ShahZaM.
So there we go. Pretty straightforward ecos, or anti-ecos, and this is something Conquest have been good at pretty much all tournament. So that's nice to see, and I don't really think they would have needed a good start, but seeing how enemy opted to go for that T-side start after winning the knife, it's definitely not what enemy were looking for.
Indeed. This is no Lionel Richie song. We've got Stanislaw with an aggressive long A peek, and he will see no early aggression. He's not going to overextend. to the waiting arms of, I think that's Koosta. He's going to go back, but his teammate, he's going to keep moving with, I think that's daps there with the UMP. I think daps is just rolling with the SMG to troll vENdetta.
No, actually, I can get behind the UMP choice because of its high armor penetration, so that's going to be actually pretty okay versus fully bought up teams.
Right, so initial map control trying to be taken by Koosta, but the UMP proving victorious. daps taking not much damage at all. 48 seconds on the clock here for enemy to start doing something. daps with a 2k, that's going to be lots of money as well. Uber waiting to be engaged towards the drop zone, but there's nobody coming his way for the time being. MAiNLiNE was on 1 HP in the last round. This time he finds himself on 10. Relyks getting scouted, so this buy from Conquest is insulting the enemy side at the moment. And they're still not really doing anything with 20 seconds left on the clock. So are they just going to run to their deaths or try to hold on to these guns? There goes Uber, leaving MAiNLiNE to serve himself up to ShahZaM and his scouts.
Not very inspirational T-side strategy coming up for the first buy round of enemy. Obviously, it's got to get really hard once daps shuts down both of your mid players. So you're not going to be able to put that much pressure on towards the A-bomb side to create some rotations. Maybe have a soul guy holding the drop room from Conquest side so you can abuse that. But not really impressed with what we saw enemy do after they were left down to 3 men either. Now they're just going to be back to a 4 spy here. And they're going to need some tempo for this to work.
Well, we do have this 4 spy readying itself. Olane is looking to soar through the sky and to land onto this site. We have a wall perhaps being erected by the smokes, and we are going to see now the push coming in. So what? Oh, there we go, nice meat shot onto ShahZaM, once again being the first victim of the pushes with ShahZaM, and NAF is hiding by the chicken coop, and MAiNLiNE just spraying that Tech 9 is going to find the frag there as well, leaving a 3 versus 2 situation for Conquest to try to pick up the pieces, but there are players all over the shop, and MAiNLiNE will claim 1 more life, leaving all to daps. Which way does he even look at this point? There's players front, left, and right. There is daps now being baited by MAiNLiNE. Look at the bait. It is pretty huge at the moment, killing so much time. The expectation here is very low for daps indeed. So much pressure in this situation, and it's going to be finished off by Relyks in the end. It's like the 4 spy is going to work.
Yeah, tempo proving victorious, and even with pistols or even with rifles, that's a pretty tough push to hold, especially when you have those wall of smokes. So for once, we actually see Conquest not being able to come through in an anti-eco round, and that's definitely what enemy needed. So they're going to be able to get full nades and actually full rifles as well. This is a pretty nice wrench.
Ooh, sit down, ShahZaM. That nade did considerable damage to Rush as well, so he will have to consider his positions in this drop zone area. Lots of noise being made. They're going to smoke things off here. Uber will be unable to respond to that. There is another HE on the map somewhere. So enemy using the time they have available to them. This time they'll be the first to get the first pick.
Oh dear, we have NAF losing out to Relyks there over towards B Plateau. So enemy opening up the map everywhere. In fact, there's nobody left at this point. Now, this is an easy finish for enemy GG. All they have to do is go as 5 to either bomb site in any which way they choose, and they should absolutely be guaranteed the victory in this round. Relyks will finish off Rush, and daps is the last man standing. He's been spotted, and the play is obvious, and daps is just going to
Save.
indeed.
Well,
Question is he going to go to the tower?
I hope he goes to the Princess Tower.
Oh, it's the Princess Tower.
Well, clearly, it's like Rapunzel.
Pencil mode engaged.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a prison?
I mean,
More or less.
depending on how grim you want to look at the story, I guess. Well, daps is actually going to make work of that op. They do know, well, they do know his whereabouts, at least for that time of being. And he is going to go into the Princess Castle, or at least towards it.
Uber's position looks slightly foolish. Let's definitely look at Uber. Okay. Yeah. Please, daps, look through the window. Come on, daps. What is he? What is that? Oh, he's a coward. Coward daps.
You've been called out, sir. You have been called out.
I'm just gonna drop the op back to ShahZaM. I'm assuming we're not gonna see anything else being bought up by this side of Conquest. And rightfully so. They just want to have strength in their buys as much as possible, and that's understandable on a map like Cobble, where you definitely need your nades to hold back any potential quick T push. I like what we're seeing as well. Like, ShahZaM in this situation needs to be aggressive if you want this to be a potential round win for you, because he's going to be the one who has to pick up frags.
So it's Stanislaw being boosted behind the statue with a pistol as opposed to ShahZaM with the AWP. And ShahZaM is going to be behind them, so I think there are some role changes needed here since ShahZaM is on the site. But it is an information play here. No pot shots. Presuming enemy will move away from wherever the AWP is once it announces itself. Relyks just waiting to get an opening frag. How long will they wait? ShahZaM going to get the snap onto Relyks there. And what is the reaction from enemy? The bomb is being collected. Uber has ventured into the drop zone. Rush is in a sneaky off angle, but he's just moving away now at the wrong timing, allowing Uber to enter, but there's no entries for Uber. The bomb and the other enemy players are over towards A, but it seems there is some indecision there. They've won the frag duels though, and that bomb will start moving towards Uber's position now.
Yeah, and the fact that Uber just stayed alive is the biggest deal. And you can see that it's given them as a team a lot of options. Stanislaw creeping around the smoke though, he will be very, very unknown. It could be quite a nasty surprise. Good Stanislaw, especially having an AK now in this position, moving around, spotting the bomber, gets the first player, looking for the... Oh no, did he not have enough bullets? Stanislaw could have done massive damage, but instead, he will be a distant memory.
That is most unfortunate, but Rush has a window of opportunity as his location is yet unknown, and MAiNLiNE is exposing himself, and he will not win the duel.
Wow. Rush didn't even have any Kevlar.
Wow, indeed.
And he's gonna win the round.
Where's your Kevlar, bro?
I thought that would almost definitely be a Conquest round win, but not because Rush was supposed to clutch it. Because if Stanislaw realizes what kind of time is left on the bomb and completely ignores the guy on the plateau and goes for the guy planting the bomb, they're gonna win it right there. Because the time it takes for either the guy from plateau or from Chicken Coop to make it over towards the bomb site and actually plant the bomb, they're not gonna have the time to plant.
What was the time on the clock, roughly?
It was about 7 seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculously tight.
So I was expecting Stanislaw to just go all out on that bomb, but works out in the end thanks to Rush.
Yeah, that was not his fight to win.
Yeah,
that was, yeah. Oh dear. Alright, well. Enemy GG have themselves plateau, and it does look like they have every intention of just going for this blind set play, not messing around with any defaults, going straight in.
But they're missing the Molotov that's on the tree position. Running onto the site now. Going to be a two-man spray down for Rush in the corner of the smoke. Still the player in tree, that's NAF, comes down now, takes out the bomb carrier, and it's going fantastically well for Conquest. Only lucky remaining enemy had an opportunity to break the CTs in the previous round, but it was stolen from them. Although there was more than one opportunity. Now Lucky finds himself behind enemy lines. Like Solid Snake, but not looking so solid on this occasion.
Yeah, Rush has come up absolutely massive. Quite a few rounds, and like he didn't get the most frags out of everybody on the first map on Inferno, but a lot of the frags he got was absolutely massive in terms of impact. Yeah, exactly, and it did the same thing here in the previous round. Instead of getting messed up, you're getting your economy messed up, he ends up sending enemy into oblivion with their money.
Indeed, Oblivion has been met by the enemy side, and that nade is going to add insult to injury. Nice tapping there, and that is a very fast round. Not much else to be said. It was an eco for enemies, so we were not expecting much, and much was not realized. So they'll be back on the buy with limited utility on this occasion. AWP continuing on to ShahZaM, of course. 5-round lead for Conquest on the CT side. Again, off to a very good start here on the less favoured side of Cobblers.
This time we'll see a different approach from enemy GG. They're making their way down through towards A, and the setups for Conquest towards A between the two players that defend that area haven't really been tested all that much. And so it would be quite cool to see what what enemy GG can do by trying to win the battles here. There's many spots to be flashed or pop flashed and to be molotoved, and you can see they'll get their way in towards the first portions of the underpass. Now checking the player in danger. He's completely screwed there no matter what happens, and now it's just daps. The rotation is coming in from Conquest now onto the A bomb site, but enemy GG, they don't have to commit here with these frags. There's still a lot of time on the clock, but they are going to go in anyway, and the bomb has made its presence known, and it's an all-out slugfest in the A bomb site. Frag after frag after frag, and now it's just koosta versus ShahZaM. ShahZaM coming in with the AWP, but he is smoked off for the time being, but koosta needs to recover the bomb.
ShahZaM may have the sound cues from koosta, who has indeed picked up the bomb. Looking for ShahZaM's position, a bit of pre-fire. They're going for the fake as well. ShahZaM going for the pot shots now. koosta knows where he is. ShahZaM almost hitting the target there. We've seen Guardian do kills from that position as well. koosta's just going to sit, face the bomb, and wonder what could be. But how long will he hold his position for?
This is so ice cold from koosta.
Ice in the veins, koosta. Over the top he goes now. Will that play? Do it? Yes, it will. That was pretty baller.
I've not seen that before.
No, that was actually really, really, really well done. I don't think a lot of players, like even some of the best players in the world, probably wouldn't have the patience to just sit there and be that calm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably could have actually helped the fact that he is an opera himself, so he probably figured ShahZaM is probably going to do something similar to as to how I would play that out and just wait for an angle.
Yeah, it was incredibly well played.
Well, still doesn't mess up the economy of Conquest all that bad, though, as you can see reflected in their buy. It's a nice nade.
koosta will be out of action for a while, forced to rotate his position because of that smoke grenade. 4-round lead for the CT side. Despite winning the round, Relyks will still be on the Tech 9. So superior buy coming out for the CTs.
I feel like Conquest are fairly expectant of this, because they did hit the scope by drop zone from koosta, so that is kind of a tell actually. And the push is wants to come into this B bomb site, but there's only 4 players for enemy GG. This is going to be pretty tough for them.
I'm actually somewhat surprised that enemy wants to go back towards the B bomb site.
Oh, the timing. Oh, that's brutal. We all know how that feels. Very, very frustrating indeed. So 30 seconds now for the push to come in. ShahZaM getting flash. Will he be brave enough to go for the repick? Going to change his position and take down the Relyks. NAF with a sneaky off angle there. Bit of a blind spot. Take down Lucky. koosta goes as well. Enemy being dispatched one by one.
And one of the things that enemy needs to realize at this point is that none of their actual slow pushes towards B have worked out at all. The one B round they picked up was pretty much the Tech 9 eco, where they more or less just never stopped. So surprised to see them go back to slow play towards B, especially, sure, it was a lot of back and forth and not really much was happening, or it was kind of up to individual aim duels when they went towards A, but at least they got openings and they were able to do something with it, even though they got their first man picked off towards the B plateau. So they did that with 4 men. If they can put 5 men towards it, or even just have the guy on plateau survive for a little while, then that could do a lot for them.
This was the pick of enemy having pick of Conquest.
Yeah.
Enemy having vetoed Mirage. So maybe enemy not prepared as Rush, who gets a very easy 5-man. Lemmings into a Gatling gun, perhaps.
And it's really very telling as well that we have 1 frag on Stanislaw, and it's basically because
he's playing
A long, and enemy almost never challenge A in their defaults. They usually just commit towards B.
This does not look like an enemy map so far.
Who doesn't know?
That previous round looked like someone had set up a bot with determined paths.
Waypoints.
Yeah, exactly. That's something you could do with Z-bots and whatnot. And they're going to go back to B once again, and no tempo this time either.
Damn. That's a meaty nade.
They're going to have to explode onto the side here real quick and hope ShahZaM misses.
ShahZaM is playing close. Is it going to pay off for him? Everyone's blind. He's on fire as well. Manages to get a quick kill onto Relyks. And again, the numbers being thinned out on the enemy side. 2 left. The AWP can't be retrieved, and sooner than I can speak, they will all fall to the floor.
They do seem a little bit lost. Of course, you can't take that round too much for granted. Obviously, not having weapons, but the enemy do seem a little bit lost, and it does come back to the fact that they don't seem to have a developed plan to a default, whereby you open up both sides of the map, and then you clean out positions, you bait out grenades, and then maybe if you get a pick, then you assess the situation and go. They don't seem to have that process.
Yeah, especially, and you could tell that because a lot of the times when they're about to execute or make their execution, Conquest already have 4 players there.
So Stanislaw will finally be able to double his score as enemy have decided to head in his direction. Has not been a fruitful adventure just yet, but will their expedition continue? The bomb is in that direction as well. Stanislaw's moved back after taking a little bit of damage, but doesn't need to go to the well one too many times. The CTs will sit on their lead and put the onus on enemy to advance and engage.
I think Stanislaw is just very happy to actually get some action finally towards that A site. He will be potentially challenged again. He's just backing off. He's playing this quite well actually so far, just slowing the approach, and enemy is still trying to work their way in. Now, they do have their lurking potential in, I believe that is Relyks actually, he's actually rotating now to join the push, so Relyks won't be able to come through drop zone. So this is all going to have to be done from this A-long push.
Look at the range advantage that the CTs have at the moment. They just moved away from the A-long area entirely. There are 2 players on the A site, and we might see a fast rotation coming in. Stanislaw with another kill and another one. 2-man spray down for him. And again, just using the ranges against these Tech 9, so Relyks and co unable to abuse the advantages of their pistol. Relyks taking down Stanislaw eventually, who gets himself, I think it was a 3-man.
Yeah. No, did he actually have 2 frags before that?
He got 2 right here, so...
Yeah, that's all he got, I guess.
He got
I say all he got, but that was...
He got 3 kills, yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty big increase
4
to what he had previously.
He got the 4-man, nice.
So yeah,
Oh,
because you were...
double auto sniper. Oh, they dropped one. Oh,
No,
they picked it up again. Yes. No.
What is this?
Oh, he's just carrying it. Okay, he's pushing it forwards. That's awesome.
Well, he may have to let go a bit. Oh, God. Loudy. Stanislaw coming in with a big gun. NAF-FLY going to follow up as well, leaving Uber alone versus 2. Still doable for him. He can bring that 4th round his way. 1v1s are possible. He has the bomb, and he may choose to rotate.
How fitting that 4 of the kills will be made by the auto snipers.
Splat. The Ric Flair, dirtiest player in the game.
It's going to be a very, very stressful round for Uber. I mean, he's pretty much just a couple bullets away from death from an M4, and of course the AWP is in ShahZaM's hands, so he can't really make any single missteps, and he's got to immediately get the frag. And to do that, he's going to have to know where to look.
Did you see the head top of Rush?
It seemed like he should have been able to, but I don't think he caught it.
Radar. We will never know because he's dead, sliding down the side of the entry to underpass. A 12-3 half on the CT side of Cobblestone. It's not often you see this. It's an overpass score, perhaps.
Yeah, the auto sniper really putting in work.
It's a brutal score, regardless of map, really.
They did definitely look, again, like I made the point there for enemy. It seemed like they haven't. I mean, they don't have the breadth of map pool. It really feels like Conquest have just have really created a very strong pick for themselves on the map, because enemy didn't have a structure to their rounds. It seemed like they were without structure.
They didn't really seem to have a default outside of let's group up towards B and eventually do an execute, and preferably after we've lost a couple of members, which is not a good game plan to go into Cobble with. I like the fact that they went back towards A the last 2 rounds, but at that point, they didn't really give themselves enough room to play around with. Well, first of putting pressure on A and just initially, so that could maybe play with the heads of Conquest, but they don't even get the opportunity to really start fine-tuning their strats and executions towards A. They only get to have one shot at it, and if something goes wrong, they don't really have another opportunity with a full buy to just say, like, well, we need to change this and this.
Good start from enemy, getting a headshot onto ShahZaM in A long, where the rest of the Conquest players are headed as well. We're seeing a 4-man hold on the A site here from the CT, so there may be an opportunity for them, yes.
Yeah, we can revisit some of these points later as this pistol continues, and then Conquest approach the A side of the map, and they're holding their positions now after we have a frag on ShahZaM. ShahZaM is on the bench, and Uber is he's almost there. He's on 7 HP, so soon to be at the bench perhaps. So we'll have to see if he can survive. But I like that Conquest are slowing this down, using the time on the clock and repositioning daps towards drop zone. This could work out quite well for them. And you can see they have set up potentially the kind of the lurker in daps, but daps again is actually coming back. He's perhaps checking to see if there's any CT push, in which there wasn't, and now it's going to be the push onto A, it would seem, as Conquest are ready with the nades.
So the connector door is being smoked off and choked off. 2 CTs on the site. Will the third, that's Uber there, make his way over towards the balcony. Nice flash coming in. MAiNLiNE gonna pop NAF with just the 1 bullet. koosta coming in for rotations, flashing in for the team, but his teammates gonna come in blind. Lucky taking down daps. So this is almost a complete failure for Conquest. 1 kill rush, dropping the bomb now. It's Stanislaw versus 4. You can find Uber, you can thin the numbers out quickly. Lucky's gonna go down actually, so he just needs to pick the right spots at the right time, although it's going to be hard not to get double peeks by these CTs. Down goes Uber, 2 left now, and he's running into the crossfire, and it will be enough. koosta holding things down here, giving enemy a chance going forward.
I think he realized that the clock was running out, really, so he just had to die. He had to commit to something. So instead of just dying after the clock runs out and not having any money at all, just went for it. And Conquest got a force buy here, which is understandable. And there you see MAiNLiNE. I think that was not the intended target, but got the wanted result.
Big kill as well, considering that he actually should have died because he got caught completely off guard at APC. They got a few bullets into him, but they just couldn't take him down before he got to safety. So that seems that it all went wrong from that point forwards. And now we do have a force buy out of Conquest, not making or picking up the bomb plants, which means that actually enemy GG have some decent weapons in this one against what they're facing, the armor and the knives. And
A-split.
Yeah.
So Conquest looks like they've made the right play. Just a 1 person on the site now, being caught in isolation, but MAiNLiNE coming in with the spray through the door onto daps. Relyks is going to be lost. Lucky though is in with the Bison. The Bisons are coming back. The bomb's going to get planted, which means Conquest could increase the pressure sooner rather than later. But can they win the round? 2 Tech 9 frags coming in, and koosta and the Uber are in a difficult position again. They have choke points to try and push through. ShahZaM in a sneaky, possibly unexpected position. Stanislaw trying to bait from the site, but he's going to be forced away by the flames. ShahZaM going down to the 2-man push of the CTs. Stanislaw trying to go for the 1-tap for the Tech 9, but it's not enough. The flames did the damage, and enemy will survive the test.
Very good eco though. Or I guess force buy coming up from Conquest. Managed to pick up 3 people, and they're only going to be able to retrieve a FAMAS here on the side of enemy.
The funny thing actually is that if he would have killed koosta, they would have won the round.
Yeah.
Because Uber didn't have a kit, and he would have had to have gone and killed. It would have wasted enough time. So that actually was a lot closer than it looked.
Well, they're gonna have the clean eco, so enemy will have another opportunity to actually stock up some cash, but not enough to actually get better rifles than the FAMASs they currently have. So they're gonna have to be really careful about not losing too many weapons, because we're gonna see Conquest buying up after this.
So let's see if Conquest can afford themselves another bomb plant, looking to exploit the A site once again, where once again there's only 1 player. Enemy putting many bodies towards the B bomb site. This is going to cause a very long rotation, excuse me. And look how close Conquest have got to the site before the warning bells are rung by the CT side. Rush coming into the flank, down goes Relyks, instant trade, but the bomb should get planted here by NAF-FLY.
This is a massive plant actually, and some good damage so far. Although it's going to be tough to do anything extra. The nades should be pretty powerful. Another frag going the way of Conquest. Now they have very disadvantaged engagements apart from daps potentially, but he's on PT50. Good ranges for him though. Oh, might just do it, but no, bullets in the clip, and that's going to be that now. Everybody dead for the T side, but they got the bomb down and 2 frags. They're definitely going to be elated with that result.
Absolutely. Very successful round for Conquest once again, and I'm starting to suspect that Conquest have actually watched enemy play Cobble, because Relyks kept playing alone on that A-bomb site in their previous games as well. So if Conquest have knowledge of that, it's absolutely well worth it for them to focus heavily on that A-bomb site. Because even if you have quick rotations, Relyks needs to stay alive. And he's been doing a good job of that so far for the most part, and actually allowing the rotation to come in, but that might not always be the case.
And indeed, Relyks is all alone, similar to the way that Flipside often play Cobble, with Blade over towards A on his own, but we'll see if enemy can hold, as Conquest have a 3-man focus towards A at present. And with the pressure on enemy's economy from these force buys and ecos of Conquest, you can see double FAMAS for enemy. They really can't afford to lose a single round at the moment.
Only one smoke left as well for on their end, but if Conquest are going to opt to go for that A bomb site, which is looks like it's going to be the case right now, they're probably going to have more use for their Molotovs, which is pretty nice for them.
So here we go, bit of a challenge. Oh, NAF picks up the headshot. Koosta, can he get the trade back, or will NAF get a little bit greedy and have to see if he even goes to that challenge? And that is doing so much damage, that B-plant pick, because now, even though NAF dies to Koosta, the rotation is so heavily delayed, and the entries are going to fall into the hands of daps. 4 versus 2, enemy GG are absolutely screwed in this round. There's nothing that they should be able to do against these grenades that have been set down in these choke points, causing additional delay and making life very, very hard indeed. Great angle there from ShahZaM. What are you going to do against that? Lucky realizes that this is just done, and he is going to get the hell out of there. Oh, well, see if he can get a frag maybe. And just about getting a frag through Stanislaw, I believe. Either way, Conquest ever closer now to all the shiny lights.
Dan. ShahZaM is 3 rounds away from Vegas. One can only imagine.
You want to know? Well, I mean, if ShahZaM goes to Vegas, ShahZaM is going to meet Kazam.
Hashtag ShahZaM in Vegas.
Alrighty.
One can only imagine.
It's going to be good.
Well, we'll see if enemy can get themselves back into this. They're not out of it yet. The force buy is coming out. Relyks is in cowboy mode, but rather than going for the revolver, he's gone for the dualies from Dusk Till Dawn style, perhaps.
I can never agree with the dualies buy.
It was very popular in this specific position.
Wow.
Around the drop zone.
And that nade, that's the most unfortunate nade you can actually get on you, the one that ignores the armor. So Uber's going to be sitting at 21 HP and 100 armor, but those 100 armor aren't really going to do anything for you when you're that low on HP.
Julie's over a 5-7.
Julie's over anything.
They are the same price. Well, Relyks will have support over towards the B-bomb site on this occasion. Conquest using the time they have available just to get enemy itching. Enemy now getting paranoid about the A side. Got 3 people over there, but they've got a flank in MAiNLiNE, so they need to start rotating towards B-bomb side before it's too late. Taking down Stanislaw might slow things down as the push comes in towards B.
There is actually a flank coming in as well from the CTs, but will it get to the B-bomb side in time? Koosta, one after another. Can he get a third? Here comes the presence from Rush, but he's going to go down as well, and it looks like it's just ShahZaM on 5 HP. He's going to get a quick frag on the Koosta, getting the wallbang in fact, but there's surely no way in hell he's going to take down Uber. He's got a perfect position, poised to strike, and ShahZaM is long gone. Enemy now with another round, but it could even seal the deal. Oh, actually, no, there's no money for Conquest to buy, so yeah, enemy should be safe for this round at least.
And the only thing I'm hoping we're not going to see is Conquest force buying in a situation like this. Still have a lot of rounds here. They can afford to take quite a few ecos.
Yeah, we've seen a fair amount of discipline from the Conquest side, and indeed they will be on the eco, looking to exploit Relyks once again. But again, we're seeing a bit of adjustment here from enemy, in that there are 2 people over towards A, rather than over protecting the B bomb site, like a clingy mother, Dan.
Yeah, no overprotection indeed, no overbearingness as we have the push coming in through. Oh, Relyks caught with a poor timing actually. Doesn't go down in the end. He will survive, persevere. MAiNLiNE going to spot the push coming in, the true intent of the Conquest side, and they might just get a bomb plant there in this situation.
Yeah, I see a plant coming. Look at me, I must be psychic. The bomb's gone down. 4 versus 2. And it's just about damage at this point for Conquest. NAF-FLY, how much more can he do? Relyks going to push with not much HP. They can't afford to lose those players. So perhaps he could have waited for some teammates, but flying in, he will go down. And we will see the state of the CT economy once the defuse comes in at the beginning of the next round. Conquest will no doubt be on the buy.
Yeah, not too great, but still not the worst either. So they're going to be fine for the time being, but I was about to say, you mentioned the fact that they were stacking up or bringing 2 people towards that A bomb site, and that's great for them. They're actually noticing that Conquest are constantly taking advantage of the fact that Relyks has been playing alone, but then you see the massive over-rotation as well from the 2 guys going in drop room and just leaving the entire A bomb site open, which is unfortunate. As Stanislaw finds the quick opening on an aggressive main line in mid, and this, he's going to set tempo to this.
Oh, he's just going for it. Stanislaw is absolutely mental, finding himself another entry there as he manages to pull out a grenade and calmly throw it and get some good damage out of it as well. He's got a forward position, his team are rallying behind that position, but he is now dead. It's looking like daps is going to pick up the pace, pick up the pieces of the push as koosta lurks in over balcony, but he might just burn alive. He's down to 12 HP, in comes the flank. NAF is not going to make good of it, but there's still 3 players on the bomb site for the CTs to deal with. Enemy GG are in serious trouble, they know it, and they're going to back away to save those weapons. But this could very well be the end of the line for enemy GG.
ShahZaM's got 1 foot on the plane, Dan. But he's waiting for his boarding pass, to which he is 2 rounds away. koosta, though, has saved the AWP. And there's always hope in koosta.
I would actually want to see enemy play koosta in a lot more aggressive position here on Cobble. On other maps we've seen them play, he's been so good at actually finding picks here and there. If they can send him either aggressively A-halls or down mid at the beginning of the round to see if he can just find a freebie for enemy just to take off some pressure from Conquest, that would be amazing. Because right now he's stuck pretty passively on site towards B most of the rounds.
Force from enemy once again. Lucky going to be on the Mag 7. There are sneaky ways to play that in the blind spots, the ninja spots, over towards the B bomb site behind smokes. MAiNLiNE with the 5-7. No Julies on this occasion. Conquest though going for a fast play towards the B bomb site, charging in, but will they get the frags? Uber's going to get the first one. The T's are hunting for the CT. Stanislaw again with a 2-man spray down. NAF-FLY and Rush coming in, leaving koosta alone versus 4.
Really unfortunate timing from enemy. Even with 4 people on that B bomb site, but the pace coming up from Conquest just proving too much. But I like that, and I wish this is something enemy can do on their CT sides more often in the future. Basically, just posting up koosta alone as the sole defender of that A bomb site, and having him basically be a protector in 3 parts on A, but he's gonna get taken down as well. So really nothing to work with for enemy going into the potentially last round.
Yeah, enemy going to have the jumble sell buy. They come in there with their mother's garments, tried to sell them, they've got no coins for them, and they've been left with pistols, grenades, and the odd defuse kit versus whatever Conquest wants.
I think ShahZaM has already checked in his bags.
Absolutely, he's picked his seats.
He's got his Ray-Bans and his fluorescent Y-fronts for the poolside.
Here we go. It's going to be just a very slow approach from Conquest. They've got 3 players passively towards the middle side of the map and on the A side of the map. And they have Rush and NAF a bit more forward towards B. NAF, the guardian of the B plateau at the moment, waiting for desperation from enemy because they realize that enemy do have a pretty crappy buy here. So it's good to use the early time in the rounds to eliminate some of these possibilities, and they're going to burn Uber out of position here, who clearly wants some more Twitter followers, noted by his name. And we'll have to see whether or not Conquest can have a fast and clean entry here, because they're starting to group up. The carnage is about to be unleashed.
So Lucky is going to be boosted into the waiting arms of daps, with wearing a horrible cardigan and all sorts, full of Christmas cheer. No engagement just yet, though. We've got 33 seconds on the clock for Conquest to do something. Stanislaw is going to get taken down, so for once he's not going to wreck the entire CT side. But Conquest, with rage in their eyes, heading towards these fallen comrades.
Yeah, Relyks is actually in a good position to hold off on this choke point. He's got some nades in there. Great flash! That's going to take down ShahZaM. It's one more player as well, but now the approach is going to be a little bit slow because that player doesn't want to push forwards because he's got the bomb. He can't risk going down here. daps and NAF, though, in with the entries, and we're having the bomb make its way onto the site, but Lucky's going to take down NAF. The support for the bomb is gone. But there it is, reappearing in daps. But it's all on daps now, but Relyks coming straight in with that double. It's going to enable enemy to survive. One more round. They keep their head above water. But is the rescue boat going to come and pull them out of the ocean, or are they going to sink and drown?
I think we might see a reenactment of the ending to Titanic. Unfortunately for enemy, and that round really, Conquest does something they haven't really done too much of so far in this entire tournament. That's not stick together as a group on their anti-eco. So Stanislaw goes down, gives up an AK, and that allows for Relyks to actually pick up a massive frag in mid.
Conquest on the cusp of greatness. Can they keep it together here? koosta off to a great start. Conquest going to be on the eco once more. This is a great opportunity for enemy to make it to double figures and start some momentum, try and build a bit more economy than they've had as of late. koosta though going to shoot his friend in the back while trying to take down these unscrupulous terrorists. The bomb is on the floor at present, and looks like Conquest are going to be unlikely to get the bomb plant on this occasion. They've had many bomb plants on their ecos towards the A bomb site, but this time that will not come to fruition.
15-10.
Enemies starting to use koosta more effectively, or more aggressively, I guess is the better word for it. So I think it's oftentimes easier if you have a good enough opera in your team. I think you're oftentimes better off with playing that opera on that A bomb site if you want to play with 4 people towards B, because you can post up at several positions and just keep falling back gradually and still have that threat of picking up frags over and over again.
Because there is that edge that they need to try to exploit as much as possible. I agree wholeheartedly. And again, Conquest taking it easy, taking it slow. And enemy GG have 4 players towards B to begin things with, trying to protect against any B rush timings, although there's not to be any just yet. Nice pick there from koosta, and that's what we're talking about, getting dirty on the B plateau. There's a quick frag for him, and that's going to cause Conquest actually to start to meander towards the A side of the map, where we will have one extra rotating player from enemy GG to reinforce. So enemy look like they're in a good stead to hold any pushes here.
Indeed, and we are seeing a more aggressive koosta as vENdetta vehemently demanded. But is it going to be enough? The charge is coming through to the T side, but it seems the CTs could be ready for it. Bit of a crossfire coming in from Relyks, but he's going to get traded immediately by none other than Stanislaw. koosta now has left the building. The MVP for enemy is dead. The CTs are on the wrong side of the choke point. It is a 3 versus 3. And the Conquest have many angles to cover. And enemy have next to no grenades to push.
Quick frag there from Lucky, but how are the trades going to work out? Lucky getting himself a second. Could be the hero here for enemy GG. ShahZaM needs to step up to deliver the result here. 1 versus 2, just barely gets Uber in time and taps down Lucky, and it's Vegas baby for Conquest.
And ShahZaM. 16 to 10 it's taken, a 2-0 for Conquest, and indeed ShahZaM is going to Vegas, people. You heard it here first. ShahZaM is going to Vegas. So that is going to bring our matches to a close. And it's going to be CSGO Lounge versus Conquest Battle of the Seas in Vegas, coming to you in January. At this point, I think we can bring in Yanko for him to give us his review of that final map.
Well, I believe it was pretty obvious that enemy is not as comfortable on this map. You can see that even when they got a couple of rounds in the first half, the round they lost, I think it pretty crushed them. They tilted them, the anti-eco they lost. Because after that, you could see there were some sketchy buys as well. They would buy a couple of Kevlars and pistols, and they wouldn't have enough money for a normal buy afterwards, but they would still go for a force. I mean, I think that round devastated them going further on. And you can see when moving on to the second half, even if after they won pistol, every time Conquest wanted to go A, they would go there, they would get there, they would plant the bomb, they would get entry into the site, and I just feel that enemy isn't as good on Cobble as they are on the maps we saw them previously, like Cash, like Inferno. Even though surprisingly they beat Cloud9 initially on Cobble.
So Conquest potentially winning the match on the veto.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I also think they would have been. Yeah, I think even with a worse veto, they would have come out of this victorious, if I'm honest. But you know, enemy still a fairly new team. They have the good thing they can take from this is that they have a lot of very clear things they can work with, and things that are pretty easy to fix as well. So that's something they can take with them, and then hopefully not be crushed by the fact that they go out after being so close to actually making it to Vegas. But yeah.
Dan, any final thoughts?
Well, I mean, Conquest, it's quite interesting to see how the development has been. Again, they've made some consistent improvements, and we can see some good structure to the game. They've got clearly a more breadth to their map pool than some of the other teams in the kind of or what you could call the second tier of NA teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how far they can really take it, because if you look at a player like ShahZaM, for example, of course ShahZaM has had a storied history, perhaps too much elevation too soon when he initially joined Cloud9, came into the focus, and seen some consistent improvements from him. Generally across the board, I'm quite impressed by the overall performance from the lineup. It feels like each and every player is in actually the right place with Conquest. So I actually hope they stick together. I would love to see how the development works over like the next few months. But going into Las Vegas, I think they're going to really struggle against Lounge, because Lounge are really legit. They're a very legit European team. They're on the cusp of they might be the second best team in Poland. Second to Virtus Pro, which is no small feat, as Poland has always been one of the best CS regions in Europe.
Well, both teams will have some time to study each other. It seems that Conquest did do some counter strats there for enemy on Cobble, so we'll see if they can do the same to CSGO Lounge going into Vegas just a few short weeks away. So thank you very much for tuning in this week. Thank you very much to Janko and to Halvor for joining Dan and I in the FACEIT studios all week, and we will see you just a few short weeks from now in January in Vegas. Have a good holiday period.